They say social media connects us. But what if the person watching your story isn't a friend at all? He sent me a picture of my own house and asked, "Do you live here?" That's when I realized my Snapchat map wasn't the only thing that was open.
If you are new to the channel and interested in this content, be sure to like and subscribe. On to our today's story. I was losing myself. I sat alone in my bedroom, a heavy duvet draped over my shoulders, and a mug of steaming tea cradled in my hands. Outside, a fine, persistent drizzle fell, and raindrops traced lonely paths down the window panes, topping out a strange, melancholic rhythm, as if whispering a mysterious tale just for me. The room was lit only by the cold blue glow of my mobile, casting long, dancing shadows across my face. I was mindlessly scrolling through social media, but a peculiar weight had settled in my chest. It felt as though an invisible eye was watching me, a gaze that was with me every moment. Then, suddenly, a sound pierced the quiet. Snapchat notification. I glanced at it listlessly, thinking it must be Sarah, my friend who often sent memes at this hour. But the moment I saw the screen, my hand froze. The name read Zach. My heart seemed to stutter for a beat. Zach, that boy who always sat on the back bench in class, quiet with hollow eyes. He never laughed, never spoke. He sat alone at lunch, often found lost among books in the library. We all thought he was odd. Some said he talked to himself. Others claimed to have seen him wandering alone in the closed-off parts of the school. I remember it clearly. One day I had stayed late in the lab. As I stepped out, I saw Zach standing in a dark corridor, speaking to the wall in hushed, urgent whispers. The moment he noticed me, he fell silent and just stared, as if I had stumbled upon a forbidden secret. And now, that same Zach was on my phone. The message held a simple question. "Do you live here?" Attached was a picture my house. The same white door, the same brick walls, the same tree. You could even make out the small nameplate with our surname on the door. A shiver ran down my spine. Then it struck me. I'd only just set my Snapchat map to friends only the day before. I took a deep breath and typed back, "Yes, I live there. Why?" No reply came. I turned my phone off. The rain grew heavier outside, and I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was standing out there in the downpour, watching me, a silent, merciless stare. The first few days were quiet. I thought perhaps the matter had ended. But then, one night, in the depths of my sleep, my phone began to buzz incessantly. Picture after picture from Zach. I tried to ignore them, but curiosity got the better of me, and I opened one. It was a picture of a workbench. I dismissed it, thinking he'd sent it by mistake. Yet the next morning, I found my window wide open. I had shut it the night before, I was certain of it. The wardrobe doors were ajar too. I asked my mom and dad, "Did you come into my room last night?" They said, "No, love, why would we?" My hands were slick with sweat. I tried to reassure myself, perhaps it was the wind. One night, my cat started behaving strangely. She hid under my bed, her ears flat, as if watching someone I couldn't see. I felt it too, a presence in the room, as if the very air was breathing. Then came the night that shattered my world. I was on the bus home from school and idly opened Snapchat. There was a new video on Zach's story. I thought, let's see what madness he's posting now. The video opened and my blood ran cold. It was my room, a video taken in the dead of night. My bed, my pillow, and me fast asleep. The camera slowly drew closer to my face. Then the angle shifted, showing my wardrobe, the very one where I kept my old teddy bear. Another video, my house from the outside, my window, and there stood Zach below, looking straight into the camera, smiling, a vacant, lifeless smile. And the final picture was of the new headphones on my bedside table. I'd only bought them the day before. It meant he had been inside my room. I began to tremble. I messaged him immediately. "Zach, have you been in my house? What are you doing?" The reply came instantly. "I'm not doing anything, Amna. I just like watching people sleep. They look so peaceful." The blood drained from my face, leaving me cold. A silent, paralyzing scream caught in my throat before it finally broke free. I tore out of my room, my screams shredding the quiet of the house. "He's been in the house! He's been in my room!" My mom and dad stumbled from their bedroom, faces bleary with sleep and then instantly sharp with alarm. My father grabbed my shoulders, his voice tight. "Amna, what is it? What's happened?" I was hysterical, thrusting the phone at him, my fingers trembling so violently I could barely hold it. The video of me sleeping played on a loop, my own peaceful face, a grotesque secret captured in the dark. My dad's expression shifted from confusion to a cold, hard fury I had never seen before. He didn't hesitate. He marched to the landline, his dialing deliberate and grim. I could hear his voice, low and steady, but laced with a terrifying intensity as he spoke to the police. "My daughter is being stalked. We have reason to believe the perpetrator has gained unlawful entry into our home." The wait for the police felt like an eternity. We sat huddled in the brightly lit kitchen, the familiar space now feeling alien and violated. Every creak of the floorboards, every sigh of the old house made us jump. My mother held me, her own hands shaking, while my father paced, his gaze constantly flicking toward the ceiling, as if he could see through the plaster and lathe to the dark space above. When the police finally arrived, their presence was both a relief and a confirmation of the nightmare. They listened, took notes, and their professional calm was a stark contrast to our raw terror. They left for Zach's house with a purposefulness that made my stomach churn. The call came hours later. The officer's voice was grave. They had found a cache of images on his phone and laptop, a meticulous and obsessive collection. It wasn't just a few photos, it was a chronicle. Pictures of me walking home from school, of my window from the street, and then, the most chilling, hundreds of images of my room, close-ups of my belongings, of my half-read books, of me sleeping. The investigation revealed the unthinkable. For the past 3 weeks, Zach had been accessing our attic through a loose tile in the eaves at the back of the house. He had been living in the shadows of our home, a ghost listening to our dinners, our laughter, our silence, descending into my sanctuary under the cover of night. Now there's a sturdy iron lock, cold and unyielding, bolted to my bedroom window. I watched my dad install it, his jaw set. I've deleted Snapchat, Instagram, all of it. Scoured my digital life until it was sterile and bare. My location services are permanently off, a setting I check and recheck with a compulsive fear. Because I've learned a terrible truth now. It's the quietest shadows that watch the most intently. The ones that you never notice, the ones that don't make a sound until it's far too late. And sometimes, in the dead of night, when the house settles into its deepest silence, I jolt awake, convinced I can hear the faintest creak from the attic above, or feel a shift in the air pressure of my room. The rational part of me knows he's gone, locked away in a facility where he can no longer harm me. But the deeper primal part of me, the part that he violated, remains on high alert. The scar he carved into my sense of safety is permanent. I still feel it, that unblinking gaze, as if it's out there somewhere in the darkness beyond my window, patiently watching, endlessly waiting for a single unguarded moment to step back into the light.